too?
Yes.
Okay.
My name is Brooke.
I'm Jarvis.
I am our project is greenest please. Okay. So if you would, everyone loves the summer days where you walk outside and first things first, you see the birds chirping, the squirrels are playing, the children are playing outside. It's a beautiful day. The clouds are white, the warm breeze hits your face. Perfect summer day. Now at night. That doesn't happen. Birds don't come out, squirrels hide, children don't even want to go outside. There's this haze that lingers in your yard and it's like a dirty brown. It makes everything disgusting and gross. And the clouds, they're not white anymore. They're like this nasty brownish tint. Nothing's pretty. You don't want to be outside. And this is caused because of the greenhouse gases that we put in our atmosphere. We put up these greenhouse gases by the fossil fuels we burn and how we produce electricity. Everyone owns a car, everyone drives, but for each gallon of gas that we burn in our cars, it puts 19 to 8 pounds of carbon dioxide into our atmosphere. Now, just think of that, like multiply that by how many gallons of cars or gases, it should release tons of these pounds of carbon dioxide into our atmosphere. And that,
In 2012, 133 billion gallons of gas were burned in the United States alone. It's just the United States. We took that and multiplied by the 19 pounds of CO2 that's put into the air, which is each gallon, over 2 trillion pounds of CO2 put into the air every year by just the United States.
And just cars.
Just cars. That's not factoring in the gas that we burn to power our houses, the coal that we burn, all that dirty energy, the non-reusable energy, that's not counted. That's just gas from our house.
and that actually, the greenhouse gases affect our climate, affect wildlife, and it can even affect people's health. Children and adults with severe asthma, that can be very, very bad for them. It can cause their symptoms to be a lot worse, and cause severe and more health effects for them. Not good. And then Jim Slazer, an executive director of the Earth Charter Indiana, told us that as the Earth warms up, our jet streams actually can change. That controls our ecosystems around the world. So when that changes, ecosystems can drastically change, killing wildlife and plant life around the world, increasing temperatures or decreasing temperatures. Drastic changes, not good for our environment. The bad thing is that 98% of our energy that we get, or how we get our energy, is non-reusable. So it's also very bad for energy. And only 2% is good for our planet. So odds are not good for us.
So with all that dirty energy in your mind, some of the solutions that came up for clean energy were already actually in place. There's solar, there's wind, and there's electric cars, and they're already being used. But the scale at which they're being used is very little. You can go up into northern Indiana and you can see these wind turbines. And these wind turbines just all over the place. When you go up to Chicago and you just look out and you see hundreds of them.
They're in Elwood. All you gotta do is
Exactly. Like, I mean, they're everywhere, and they're probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Like, I'll drive up there and I just take in awe at the power that we have to build such great things that power so many homes. One turbine actually powers 200 to 450 homes. So with that multiplied by hundreds, you get tons of homes being powered. Some other aspects we have are solar energy. Solar energy, if you go down to Indianapolis Airport, there's actually a solar panel field that's just been put in place. The field is actually being rented by an electric company from the airport because it's the airport's land. So in a sense, the airport is making money off of these people for renting out their land so that they can take the energy from the sun, which is also going straight into the main power grid. It's not powering the airport or anything, it's powering homes, just like yours and mine. Electric cars, you see them everywhere. Well, almost everywhere. Right now, you see the little smart cars that drive around and you kind of look at them and you're like, there's two people in there and it's kind of dinky and a little weird looking. But if you look at companies like Tesla, Tesla's coming up with these amazing cars. They look and drive just like your regular gas-powered cars, and if anything, they're better. I mean, down in Keystone at the crossing, in the mall, you can actually go in and there's these cars set up and it's Tesla, and you can sit in them and you can get a feel for them, and they're just and you talk to him and he tells you that one charge for one car is 300,000 miles, and that is a tank for me in my car, and I drive a little Honda Civic, so I should be getting a lot more than that, but you didn't know.
you say 300,000 miles?
300,000 miles.
On one charge.
That's a big tank of gas.
Yes. Yes, he said 300,000 on one charge from that battery. Because the whole underneath the car, that's the battery. The whole underside of the car. And when you drive it into somewhere to change the battery in case it would die, and I talked to a man down there, he said they're guaranteed for 8 years, even longer. And he told me that when you actually go in to change it on their website, they're designing a process for changing that battery where they lift the car, pull it out, and put a new one under and drop your car back down, and you can drive out. It's a 90-second process, which we've all been to the mechanic, can take up to weeks. And so
Did you get a price on those cars?
the price is actually very high at the moment. I believe there's $70,000 for one of these sporty cars, and why they are at $70,000 though is because there's very little competition to them. And if you look at the first car that was ever made in the United States, that car was really expensive. It was really expensive because it was the only thing out there. When you start putting more of these electric cars out into the world, more companies like Ford, Honda, Hyundai, I mean, they start putting these electric cars out there that start looking a lot like these. People are like, I really want this. The price is going to drop. It just takes the one push to get everyone into it. Same thing with the wind turbines. When you have more companies producing more wind turbines, there's more competition for getting that clean energy from these wind turbines. The better designs, and it just keeps going and going. So with some of these solutions, we decided to take one of the solutions and try and put it into one of our own kind of like local area kind of things that we could do here in Noblesville. So for our public policy, we decided let's try something that's attainable for our students here in Noblesville. So we decided we were going to set up a club, the Greens Clean Club in Noblesville High School. And we're going to talk to the Noblesville School Board, and we're going to see if they'd be okay with possibly building solar panels that are designed, maintained, and put together by students themselves. To do this though, we're going to need help. And so we decided that we would also talk to companies who have practice in building. So we'd go to some companies
Duke
like
Energy that has hydro plants, and then we were going to go to Purdue that actually is engineering major, so they can help us.
and we would invite them to come and help us design and build these things. And it would be a great thing for us, ourselves, and these colleges, because it's hands-on experience for their students, and it makes the colleges look great as well as Noblesville, because Noblesville is now showing everyone that, hey, our students are taking part in our community by actually powering their school with these solar panels. And actually, there are already other schools doing it, like colleges, like Ball State, who actually have these hybrid buses. They're not only run on electricity, but they're also run on gas. And so we thought, if a college can do it, why can't we? I mean, we're just as capable. We have just the same amount of resources, if not more sometimes. And we definitely have the brain power to do it.
Any questions?
All right, you have a 10-minute question period starting now.
One of the challenges is the cost. And you're talking about $70,000 for a car. Normally what happens on the life cycle of a new product is there's so much research and development when it first comes out. It's got to be more expensive to recoup all that initial research. Look, you can look at computers, you can look at calculators, then over time they drop. Do you guys have any thoughts on how you could get electric cars more affordable? Did you guys even look into that?
Well, no, because our public policy doesn't involve the electric car aspect. It only involves more of the solar panels for our school and our community. Something we can start small and hopefully grow into something.
Well,
big.
no, I'm talking about your evaluation, not what's happening here at school. I don't know if you guys looked at if there's a way to get more cost-effective electrical vehicles, for example.
We did not.
Okay,
we did not
that's
pay
fine.
too much attention.
It may not be.
Yeah.
It may not be a way.
It's one of those things that's going to take more time and more effort on everyone's part, saying, you know what, we're going to take a bigger dive into this because it is going to be our future at some point in time, because fossil fuels are limited. They're non-renewable, and eventually we won't be able to find them. And the price of a gallon of gas is going to soar up to maybe $6. And at that point, no one's going to want to pay $6 for a gallon of gas. So they're going to resort to these electric cars. And the first company that has one of the best looking electric cars, they're going to be the ones that make the most money off of it.
Have you in looking at the solar, since that was the policy you were looking at, did you explore the cost of putting solar panels in, and how many solar panels you would need, and how much power that would generate to operate?
Okay, so we have, let's see. We didn't really invest in how much it would cost, but for every 10 watts that is produced, or 150 square feet of solar panels produce 10 watts. So if we have to, if we measure out how big the roof would be and how much we actually want to put on our roof and create, we can calculate how long and how much energy we will actually be producing by 150 times 10 watts. So we just have to figure out and measure our measurements.
And as far as the cost goes, we would be looking for grants from certain companies that would provide these grants to us. There's one I cannot remember at the moment. It's on the tip of my tongue, but some companies we could actually just go to locally, and we could look at them and we could say, hey, our students are looking to do something really great for the community and for their school. We're wondering if you would help us invest, and so if you could, we would like to sponsor you. We would like to see if you would donate to us to actually be able to fund a building of it. And because it would be student built, there would be no cost to have someone come in and actually build it for us, so we could actually do it ourselves. And the only thing we have to buy are the raw materials to actually build it. And here at Noblesville, we have like some classes like design processes where they design homes, and so designing a solar panel for them would not be as difficult as designing a home. So we would see that, and we would ask design processes department, hey, would you guys mind designing this for us? And then again, we would talk to people from Purdue. Would you guys like to come and help us build them and put them up together?
I digress for a moment.
Yeah.
Could you state for me again, what is the problem? What problem did you identify?
Our problem in our community is that we are putting too much CO2 into our atmosphere. We're putting too many greenhouse gases into the air, and we're polluting our planet and killing it at the same time. And actually, you can look at China, and you can look at Hong Kong and all those places, and you can see that the haze that's coming off of all the...
I got that.
Yeah.
I understand. So your issue, your problem is not something that we can fix at a community level. You're talking about a global issue.
But the global issue starts at a community level.
Okay, so what is your community, what is the problem that you're trying to address at the community level?
It's still the same problem. All I'm saying is that if we want to solve a larger problem, we have to start small. And we can't get into the larger problem without starting small and coming out of that. Because all the great things that we have today have started small. It wasn't something large aspect that we just threw up there and we said, this is it. We had to start somewhere small and grow into something larger.
So I get your issue, I get your policy for your problem, and your plan of action then is to build solar panels here at the school and to do what with them?
Power the school. So that way the school is not needing as much energy from their provider, maybe Duke Energy. They're not having to rely so much on the energy coming from Duke. They can rely on their own renewable energy.
Noble cause. And you have not done the research then to identify how much it costs to purchase or to build, or the technology necessary to build solar panels?
No, not yet.
Okay.
And there's another, it happened first actually, the first big use of solar panels was just for heating hot water because it saves your gas using in your hot water heater or whatever. So that should be considered too as you guys look at. And then another solution, I spent some years doing research at IU and actually built a passive solar house in Charlotte, North Carolina, where the design of the house provided 70% of my energy needs. So there are some things also that we can do out there just by design.
Yeah, and even like if our school starts it, maybe another school will see what we're doing and see like the good pros and cons of it. Maybe they'll get their program to do that too. You know, it can just spread, but we have to take the first step.
I like that you're addressing it on a local level, but I struggle a little bit calling it a policy. It's more of a program. And so it would be interesting to see that program fleshed out a little bit more. And so instead of just let's construct solar panels, let's say we're going to make a policy to decrease our reliance on fossil fuels for energy in the school system 5% every year. And we're going to do that by doing X, Y, and Z. So you're really actually formulating a policy that you can measure benchmarking against each year. So for every new 1,000 square feet that the school system adds, we're going to make sure that 50% of that square footage is actually powered by solar panels. So really take that program and develop it out into more of a longevity than just let's try this pilot program. So it is more of a policy.
That's a great point.
Yeah, I think what Christy said is the difference in definitions there between program, which is kind of what this is, versus policy, which is where does it go from here.
So you're saying instead of taking the program just for like, let's see how this does, you're saying take it out and put it into a longer, like, so we can see where it's going to be.
Well, I think you've got to think about what the definition of policy is. This is a great program to start at the local level at the school, but like she said, okay, the policy then is going to be A, B, C, D because of this program, right? The program almost helps write the policy. And you can have some measurable goals. You've got some benchmarks with the program, and then you can say, okay, this is where we're going to be next year, and then next year, and then as construction evolves with the school system, how does the program fit into the policy? Everybody else?
Very real problem. I agree. We need to start. I think you need to start locally. That's where we need to start. If we wait for so many times, I think we as Americans wait and we depend on the government. We, independent. I think businesses, individuals need to start addressing this instead of waiting on the government to solve all of our problems.
And I did appreciate that, the stance that you take on that is that, yes, it's a big problem.
You got to start somewhere small.
Exactly. And if it's a big problem and nobody ever addresses it, nothing ever happens.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys did a good job.
Yeah, nice job, guys.
Good job.
Thank you very much.
Great topic.
I do have one last question. Excellent presentation, great eye contact. You guys had a super understanding of the subject. Who are these people? Who are these people back here?
They're our supporters.
Oh,
Wow.
You guys don't go next or something?
No.
I thought you were like next. This is like the dugout.
oh, okay. And so you guys drew the short straw.
Oh, no, it's just us in this
Oh
program.
yeah, they're just our backup.
We just went in the last group.
Thanks guys.
Well done. Thank you.
Cool. Nice job.
Thank you.